Hello there! So today LEGO Ideas closed the latest review qualification round. This time 34 submissions reached the 10,000 supporter mark. So I thought it'd be fun to just quickly run through the ideas and maybe predict which set or sets become official models. I'll start with the ones that are least likely, not in the exact order, more like in groups, and just kind of build my way up to the final prediction, which would be which one or ones make it. As is the case with LEGO Ideas pretty much all the time now, you have a load of modular buildings and medieval builds. There are 6 modular buildings type sets that I think you can pretty much eliminate instantly based on past LEGO Ideas submissions. They're not going to make a modular building for LEGO Ideas, they never have. So looking at these, there's the Costume Store by Bricky Brick, Brick Walk by Lepra Lego, Basement and Sewerage by Mockingbird, Carl's House by Yang Yang, The Nanny by Castor Troy and Max Brick, and The Apartment by Bricky Brick again. They're all really nice builds. I really like the Costume Store and The Apartment, both by Bricky Brick. I think those could end up on the Bricklink Designer program. I think they'd do really well. Basement and Sewerage isn't technically a modular building, but it's more like a modular accessory. There's been modular accessory packs in the past as well that made it this far but didn't get made into official model. And as cool as the idea is, I can't really see that changing. Out of all of these, I think Carl's House by Yang Yang has a really good shot of actually being made into official model, and I originally had it as like the one that's most likely, but looking at the actual submission, you can see the 2 pins that make it modular compatible, and that kind of tarnishes it a little bit for me. Brick Walk and The Nanny aren't modular compatible either, but they look close enough that I can kind of lump it in comfortably. Another sub-theme that keeps getting these 10,000 supporters are medieval style builds, and this review stage has no less than 7. You have the Imperial Island Fort by Brickhammer, the Medieval Tavern by Let's Go, the Tavern Under the Snow by Lego is Art, Medieval Harbour by Nami Rob, John's Medieval Watermill by Mind the Brick, the Medieval Fortress by Let's Go again, and the Traditional German Cottage by Snickers77. There's a few of them that aren't like strictly medieval, like the Traditional German Cottage, but like in terms of an aesthetic, they can be lumped together. They already made the Medieval Blacksmith set, and I don't think they're eager to put out another one that looks so similar or in the same theme. LEGO should probably just make a medieval theme at this point, or revive the castle theme, because there's clearly a demand. These sets keep getting 10,000 supporters. With those out of the way, I might as well narrow down this list a bit more and talk about the sets that I think have a 0 chance of becoming an actual thing. These aren't in a particular order, but I do think that the first one is probably my least favourite submission I've ever seen get this far on LEGO Ideas, and that's the GameStop Classic Shop by Michelin. I think that's probably how you pronounce it. This only got 10,000 supporters because of the whole GameStop stock fiasco thing that happened months and months ago. It's a joke submission, it's a meme of a set, it's long irrelevant now. I don't think this submission even looks that nice, to be honest. One Easter egg I kinda like on this set is the inclusion of a monkey, which I believe is a reference to the Ape on the Market Bananas explanation as to how shorting works. But when you put this joke submission alongside something like the aircraft engine right below it that has so much work and so much effort put in to make it functional and highly detailed, it's just it's almost insulting. This is just a set that is just capitalizing on the current trend. There's a 0% chance that this makes it into an official model. The rest of the submissions in this kind of category I think are properly good. And it's not the lack of quality of the set that would make it not be an official model. It's just I think they're maybe too niche, or maybe they've been done before, or very similar before. Starting with the Outer Solar System Explorers, these are very similar to the space probe you got in with the shuttle set. So I feel like if they were to do a set like this, it would come out under Creator Expert, not Ideas. Is another one of these space-related submissions that are always really popular on LEGO Ideas. That's another theme that LEGO should probably just end up making because there's clearly a demand for it, just these space-related sets. And they've come out with a lot of sets in Creator Expert that are space-related already, so this could become an official model at some point, but it won't be through LEGO Ideas, I don't think. The Lifeguard's Shack by Adwin is a really nice set. It's a really neat little build. My only problem with it is that it's so small that I can't really see it be made into a standalone idea set, but I could definitely see this being put as a gift with purchase, in the similar vein as the sailboat set that came out not long ago. The Women of Computing by 20 Tori, it's the exact same as the Women of NASA ideas set that came out in 2017. Exact same build, exact same style. I think there's a zero chance that LEGO released this set under the same theme, just because it's so similar to that other set, and that kind of breaks the whole idea of LEGO ideas with all of them being unique and stuff. That being said, they could do a Friends Apartments set thing and release it under a different theme, maybe Creator Expert, but definitely not ideas, so I don't think this will get any further. The Boston Dynamics Spot 1:4 scale motorized model by Walk Crawl Run is a really cool set, and I imagine that the motor functions work and it can actually run and stuff. With sets like Mindstorms, these get really expensive really quickly, so if they were to make this into an official model, I feel like it'll cost way more than is feasible for a LEGO Ideas set, so in all likelihood I can't really see this being made into an official model. The Nyhavn Copenhagen Denmark set by Matthias Julin would fit alongside the architecture theme, but it would but I can't see it being released in LEGO. I think it's too specific. I just can't see it happening. The Airport Fire Truck Rosenbauer Panther 8x8 by Radira00 is another one of those huge vehicles that are really impressive models but just don't have the mass appeal or the recognizability to be made into a LEGO Ideas set, I think. I just can't see it happening. It could be released later on under maybe a Technic theme. Maybe they make a big Technic model out of it like they do the Mercedes excavator set and that kind of thing, the bulldozer, but not here, not under this theme. The BTS Dynamite set, as far as I can tell, is based off a K-pop music video. Again, that's too niche. I don't think LEGO would delve into that kind of market. I can't see it happening, not this time anyway. The next two sets, the A-Frame Cabin and the Log Cabin, are brilliant examples of sets that got this much supporters and got this far because of how incredibly good the actual model submitted is. Especially the Log Cabin by Galaxy333. It's one of the nicest looking models I've seen submitted to LEGO Ideas in recent memory, and I'd love for that exact one to be made into an official set. My worry is that if this is accepted as an official model, it'll be simplified and downscaled to a degree that it would almost lose its charm. I can see them making it maybe to go with the Treehouse Idea set with that river flowing through it. That could be pretty cool, but as it is, I think it might be too complicated for LEGO Ideas. Similarly, the A-Frame Cabin by Norton74, really cool set, super smooth, loads of really interesting angles going on with the tiling and stuff, but it's not something I can see them making into an official model. If they do make this, it'll be downscaled to a point where it won't even be noteworthy enough to be a standalone set, if that makes sense. The 11 sets that I haven't talked about yet all have a decent chance to become a model. Of those 11, I think 6 of them very likely won't, but there is an off chance that they could. First is the IP related sets like the A-Team Van and Crew by Henkvid, Knight Rider, Kit and the Flag Mobile Command Unit by, the same guy, Jaws by Diving Faces, Spaceballs by Bricktory Lap, and Minas Tirith by GJC 15344. All of these sets could become official models under the right circumstances, just like Winnie the Pooh, Seinfeld, and Friends, but it all comes down to how these IPs handle their licensing. Even if LEGO do decide that these would make great sets and they go ahead with it, they could easily be stopped in its tracks by licensing stuff. They could become sets, but I doubt it because there's a lot of complications that could stop it. Also, as a side note, if the Minas Tirith set is the one Lord of the Rings submissions that becomes an official idea set, I'd almost be pretty disappointed because of the Map of Middle-earth and Bag End sets that have already in the past not become official models. And now on to the sets that I think are very likely to be the ones submitted. Out of the 5 here, I imagine 1 or 2 of them will be the official models accepted. But the first one is the Working Mini Golf Course, fully playable by LEGO Paradise. If you haven't seen the YouTube video on this set, you definitely should. The build looks beautiful and the mechanisms to get it work are just straight up genius. I think this stands a really good chance of being the official model because it's so unique. The next set is the floating island using tensegrity by Seb E. For those who don't know, tensegrity is a technique popularized by JK Brickworks, this video specifically, that involves kind of building a model that looks like it shouldn't work, but does because of some physics stuff. I love tensegrity and I really want an official model, and I think this could be the one that is the perfect use case for it should they decide to make an official model out of it. It tells a really cool story, it looks amazing, and it would be a really cool display piece to have. The top part of this set looks really heavy. Maybe that doesn't matter, probably doesn't, but we don't know for sure because this is just a digital model, like this is just a render. If it's possible in real life, then this very well could be the set from this round that becomes an official model. The next set is the exact polar opposite of the GameStop Classic Shop set I talked about earlier, and it's the Aircraft Engine Workshop Minifig Scale and Working by Stefanix. This is a model so complex and well done that it's leagues above my understanding or appreciation. I imagine for aircraft enthusiasts, it's like you can spot loads of details in the build and stuff, but as a casual, occasional plane user, maybe too much for me, and I think that could be the problem with this set that prevents it from becoming an official model. It might be too niche. This next set is easily my favorite submission of this review stage, and it's the House of Time by Kevin Timehouse. The actual ideas page doesn't have the YouTube video attached, but if you watch the YouTube video you can really appreciate how incredible a model this is. If LEGO do decide to do this, I really hope that they don't simplify it or scale it down or anything, because as it is, it's genuinely amazing. I hope that this becomes the official model, and given how unique it is and how iconic the whole cuckoo clock thing is, I kind of think this will be it. And the last set I'm going to talk about is the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine by Let Them Fly. The reason I didn't put it alongside those other IPs is because LEGO did have a Scooby-Doo line before, so it's not like they're against LEGO using their IP to make sets. This stands a really good shot of becoming the set that makes it. If I was to predict 2 sets to become official models, I would say the House of Time by Kevin Timehouse is probably the one I would be most confident in. Aside from that, I think either the working mini golf course or the floating island using tensegrity would be my next best guesses. And those are my predictions and general thoughts. We'll find out early 2022 which set becomes the official model from this review stage. I guess I'll see you then. Farewell.